There's no work here for you, stranger. Check with Motus if you're looking for a job. You'll not find one with us. Capstan sent you my way, did he? Yes, I'm familiar with old Bloodbane. This Croddock is extremely protective of a particular pack of brownies. The surest way to draw it out of hiding is to attack those brownies. They help Bloodbane hunt, you see. I'll mark their territory on your map for you. Good luck. No one's been able to best the creature yet, and it would be unfortunate if you didn't make it back.
Oh, I'm in a terrible bind. I don't dare go forward, and I certainly can't go back. Mind you, I wouldn't go up that eastern ledge. It's most unsafe. Oh yes, a stalwart foreman. He sent you after me, I suppose. Scholar of mineralogy, Motus mining, and unwitting adventurer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, I'm sure. It's a place of mystery and intrigue. No one knows what lurks at the top, though everyone's got a guess. I've heard tales of terrifyingly scarred men appearing at the entrance of the caverns from time to time. I don't care why they're there, I just don't want them anywhere near me. Odessa could not have been built without the Motus mining interest. Yes, well, no. I got 10 paces up the slope when I spotted those Fae. What's a scholar to do against hordes of vicious beasts? One of those boggarts, it shook its fist at me. Yes, and find out what's wrong. Now that I've found it, and have no desire to investigate further. There were boggarts, lots of boggarts. And I think I saw a thresh. I was rather too busy running to note the particulars. Well, if you were willing to go first, I would have no objection to trailing behind at a safe distance. I've yet to discover a reason for their presence. Let's keep going. Lead the way. Up the slope. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Come from?
Another, come to steal the light, come to trouble the reverie. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. He and I are two where there once were many. We lived then wild on dune and crag. Now he watches the waking day, and I tend to the dreaming murmurs of the stone. When I became aware the light was gone, the shell of the reverie cracked, and my dream self wandered free. Long, long ago, I wandered lost in the dark of night. I cried a pool into a rocky basin, and starlight gathered there. I fashioned this into a jewel, and by its light found my way home. Is it any wonder that I hold it so dear? They are my friends, drawn here as I drift between the dream world and the world of the waking. The light, source of solace, snuck in, sharp knives, soft feet, stole the jewel from my side, took it northward through the narrow rocks to their village of wood and cloth.
It's beginning to make sense. This Fey maiden is real, but I believe we're speaking to a projection of her as she dreams. There is a Fey hollow under this mine, where I'll wager she sleeps. And these other Fey, they're drawn to the power of this projection. Restoring to her this light she speaks of might calm things down. Find me at the Motus mining office when you return it to her. I'll make sure you're duly compensated. No, I feel quite certain. The maiden we see here is a projection of her dream self, as she calls it. The real Fae's asleep, somewhere in the hollow below us, I'll wager. And these other wild Fae are drawn to the power she exudes while in this form. Most likely return what was stolen to the Fae made within the hollow. That is how these things tend to go.
In ancient times, the desert had no shade. The sun burned the land to ruin. The rivers disappeared, and the animals hid underground. The people cried to Helios for mercy, but he didn't answer their prayers. As the plants withered in the heat, the hollow lands echoed with the crackle of fires.
I watch them day by day, their foolish, meddling scampering to separate one piece of earth from a slightly different piece of earth. Fae know that the land will endure, will heal any wounds mortals can inflict. But I worry that these wounds may be long to heal. I cannot act, I am bound by our beliefs. But an agent of change could cauterize these wounds by making the century plants bloom. Have you met her? Fair and dark as the night itself. She will sleep until my time is past. Then I will lie down and dream while she walks the sands. I shepherd the surface while Orenda sleeps beneath. I await the day when I may lay down to rest as Orenda does, beneath the sands. The mortal's growing influence in this world wearies me. The little mortals, you mean? Forever cutting, clearing, digging, will they never stop? Won't they tire of it and go away? In ages past, we danced in circles on the dunes and sang sweet songs to the distant peaks. Now I alone walk here, while Orenda dreams in reverie below. Normally they blossom only every 100 years. The land stirs and wakens, and what was worn away rejuvenates. That is the way of things. Oh, I cannot make them bloom, not now. When the time is right, one Fae whisper will do. You mortals are not bound as we are. You can grow such things out of season. You wouldn't know with these little mortals here, but these lands are a Fae place. And Fae places need refreshing from time to time. The blooming of the century plants is the fastest route of recovery. The century plants have deep ties to the pulse and marrow of the land. Their breath wakens the desert, causes the rocks to stir and grow. A friend of the sands, you'll do what needs doing. You will need petrichor. Here's a skinful I have gathered. But first, you must ready the plant with fire. Only after fire will they drink the petrichor. There are 3 century plants in this land just now. Make all 3 bloom, and all will be well. The smell of the earth after rain. I have gathered it over years in that skin. For each of the three upon the sands, scorch it with fire, then slake it with the petrichor I gave you. Farewell.
The light! Return to me! Did you do this? The blessings of the thorn and shadow be upon your head, little mortal. Now leave me to the reverie, and the deep shadow and the far wind sighs. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. This is home, the place of power. I can feel the mortal's presence above, taking, chipping away at the land. Calavar will not be pleased. Now I have the light, the reverie will be untroubled. Now leave me be, little one. Leave me be. Ah.
Then the winged Saina, the mediator of earth and sky, came from Ishara. She beheld the suffering desert and swooped down upon the hollow lands. Her feathers shaded the scorching sands. Her wings cooled the broken ground. Her tears fell to the dust where rivers were born. The land flourished under her gentle plumes. As life returned to the burnt expanse, the people crawled from their caves and saw a majestic silhouette against the open sky. They praised Saina and worshipped her likeness. She replied with a KoA that still echoes on the wind. Helios heard the call, and looking down upon the desert, grew irritated. His mighty works were undone, and his brilliance spurned. He called Vreka to his side and implored the fiery god to strike Saina from the skies. Vreka agreed, but as Saina was too strong, he asked Helios to lend him some of his fire as well. So Helios gave Vreka the flames of the sun. Fire from the heavens struck Saina, and her plumage burst into flames. She flew high to cool her feathers and dove to extinguish the fires. Still nothing would cease the burning, and she knew that she was doomed. So she absorbed as much of the heat of the sun and the spirit of fire as she could, and fell dead to the earth. Now only her bones remain, but she will rise again if life is threatened in the Hollow Lands.
can smell them on the dry winds. Your eyes may not see the natural decay, but I assure you, it is there. The little meddlers may do their worst. The Hollolands will endure it and mend the wounds they make. Farewell.
I've been hoping you'd come by. The miners report no sight or sound of Bloodbane since you ventured out into the desert. That means they can start work on the Dunehead site, and that you've earned your pay. Aaron Excavations. They're the other mining outfit in the Hollowlands, our only competition. Though I wouldn't say that they're particularly stiff competition. Thank you for ridding us of that menace. If you hadn't happened along, who knows where we'd be? In whatever that thing calls a stomach, I suppose. You're welcome here any time, friend. Though there's not much to do but swing a pick at rocks. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
A Fey relic? Was that it? She called it a light. I wonder what possessed those fools to steal it. No matter. Facts are, without you, I'd still be tugging my beard at the bottom of that slope. So please have this. The interest rewards those who smooth its way. Foreman Vire? Head harder than a rock, and emptier than a mined-out stope. All this caused by a stolen jewel. Remarkable. As I've always said, there's no understanding Fey. All the same, we ought to have known we were digging right above a Fey hollow. Didn't seem important at the time, I suppose. Goodbye. Thank you for all you've done.
Thank goodness you're here. It's my miners. They've gone deranged. Bless my beard. Just as both sites were coming back to full operation, the lunatics fled out into the desert. I tried to stop one of them and saw nothing but a blank stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. He looked cursed. This is the work of that Fey, the one who sits atop the hill on the outskirts of town. If you can find that Fey and make him fix this, he'll be duly compensated. Damn right! There's no other explanation. He calls himself Calovar. Polite enough fellow, I suppose, but I've never trusted him. When we first got this operation up and running, he'd appear out of the sands every once in a while and try to convince us to move out. It's so obvious now. I'll bet he was behind the other problems as well. The Cruduck, the attack on Canyon Hill, all of it reeks of Fey magic. Oliver watches the mine from his perch on the hill to the south. You'll find him there. Surely you've heard the name. Odessa's most powerful mineral mining interest. Dug the very stones Odessa was built on, and the gems that power her. Well, the Canyon Hill site's underway thanks to you. But for every step in this place, there's another stone to trip on. They had an ill aura about them as they ran off into the desert. What they were running from, I don't know. None of them made any sense. They were just yelling, saying things that weren't there. Didn't you hear me? They've gone soft in the head. Most ran off into the desert, some stayed in the mines. I tried to stop one of them and got nothing but a vacant stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. Then he took off. He looked cursed. I bet my beard that damn Fae had something to do with this. Nothing is going right. Nothing.
Bring headwear, lest the sun about time those Fae took their leave. I'd have taken them on myself.
What are you here for, mortal? I'll not suffer another child of dust. I've had enough of your lot. Especially those of you calling yourselves Edgar Arryn. I lent him my relic when he asked for help extracting resources from the ground. I believed I was aiding a friend. But Edgar Arryn deviated from his purpose. The plight of Orenda and the attack of the Craddock on the mortal camp perplexed me. I know now that Edgar caused them with my relic. If you wish to free the mortals from their predicament, you must seek out Edgar Arryn and take back the relic. With it in hand, speak to the miners to break the spell. The mortal and I made a verbal contract. I would give him use of my light to help him clear the wild Fae from his mine. In return, he agreed to gather his resources with my relic rather than the little mortal's methods, ripping and tearing at the land. He has instead shown his true quality, and now your miners are scattered to the winds. I have heard mortals refer to it as a stone or a jewel. Vast oversimplifications, as children of dust are wont to make. It is my light, as Orenda's lantern is hers. Edgar Arryn asked to borrow my relic to use in his mine, to draw the minerals the mortals find so valuable. I thought him worthy of friendship, and thus gave it to him. Alas, he has deviated from his purpose. The Craddock attacks, the theft of Orenda's lamp, and now this. All of this petty sabotage is his doing, made possible by my relic. He has fled to his mine. If you truly wish to save the little mortals wandering the sands, you must retrieve my relic from me. You would do well to bring it back to me as well, when you have claimed it. It is a powerful relic, and could do much harm in the wrong hands.
Farewell.
Before I came here,
You found me, stranger. Been speaking to Calavar, have you? You've been putting out fires for Motus all over the place, I hear. What can I do for you this time? I thought I saw you scaling that cliff. Paid a visit to Calavar, did you? He wasn't lying. I wanted Motus gone. But I didn't mean to take it this far. Damn that stubborn Apule and his beard for sticking to this territory. If he had left, nobody would have been harmed. I did. With this little stone Calavar gave me, simply thinking a thing makes a wild fae do it. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep old Bloodbane from falling for your brownie bait. Calavar told me all about it, and how detrimental it would be if it were taken. Then I just had to tell a couple of gullible cutthroats about this incredibly valuable Fey relic buried in Shadowthorn Hollow. Perhaps there is merit in cooperating with you. You kill Croddock and spelunk Fey Hollows for a living, after all. But if Motus doesn't leave the Hollowlands, I'm finished. There's no turning back for me. Kill this pest, boys! No, please spare me. I was just trying to make a living here. Success should have been mine. I started my operation long before Motus ever arrived. My workers have abandoned me, and I haven't made a single coin from this place. This was all I could do to reclaim what once belonged to me. You understand, don't you? Fine, it's yours. Damn thing never did me any good anyway. I'm sure the Odessan Praetorians won't be far behind me now that the word's out. I won't be here when you return.
By the moon, where are these gazelles coming from? What was I saying?
Reginald, what do we do? The house is aflame! The house is aflame! What? Oh, where is this? By my beard, how did I get so far into the desert? Where do you think you're going with my pickaxe, you wretch? No. Where is this? I promise this is the last time I partake in Datrian ale.
I've never noticed how close the ground is to the sky. I mean, I do now. It's a mistake I'll never make again. Wait, what was I saying? Oh, dear me, I have to go.
I could swear there was a lake here a moment ago. What? What happened? What in blazes is this?
Well, it looks like everyone's back or on their way. We're in your debt once more. Edgar's facilities are vacant now. They're yours if you want them. They were never particularly profitable once his miners left him. But in the right hands, a few of the miners feel so indebted to you, they'd like to work there for you if you'll have them. You should visit the mine when you have a chance. Good day.
I'm not sure what's more dangerous.
Greetings, Marshal. I shall relieve you of the relic. For a mortal, you are remarkable. I can see something lingering in your eyes, something fey. It is both fascinating and perplexing. But, as you mortals say, the dust has settled. This region was on the verge of catastrophe, thanks to Edgar Aaron. It was fortunate you were here to stop him. For now, then.
Welcome. The Motus miners have told me all about you. I'm Vincent Helvarn, Edgar Aaron's former assistant and facilities manager. I'll continue to run the mining office for you, if you'll allow it. Come and go as you please, the building is yours to use. And if it doesn't suit your tastes, with some spare coin, I can arrange for renovations. Yet another place of mystery that I'd rather be much farther away from. The Hollowlands are death trap enough as it is. Beastly creatures stalk near those caverns. They're not fey, and they're definitely not natural. You could pay me enough to get close to there. I wish it were somewhere far from here. The Hollowlands are dangerous enough without them. I locked myself in here while Edgar was hatching his schemes. I knew it would come to violence at some point. He was hell-bent on getting even with Motus. Anyhow, what's past is past. You need a manager for this building while you're away, and I'll do it for a small fraction of what you earn. Speak to me if you want work done on this building, or if you'd like to collect a profit. The Motus miners feel indebted to you. They've offered to work your mine, for a sliver of your overall profit, of course. Sorry, boss, we haven't yet sold off what we've produced. Check back later and I'll have your money. If you have enough gold, I can clean this place up and furnish it with goods from across the land. I'll get right to work. It'll look brand new before you know it. can't believe old Edgar had been causing all this trouble in the area. People died on account of him. Sad. With a bit more gold, we can improve the facilities even more. Time to get to work. Oh, you'll love it. How goes the splunking? I've kept things pristine here at home. For a tad bit more gold, I can add on another room for more storage space and furnishings that'll make an emperor drool. It'll be ready in no time. When we're done, you'll own the finest building in all the Hollowlands. We've expanded the facilities as much as we can, I'm afraid. But look at how far it's come. It's quite a sight, eh? Truly a marvel of modern architecture, if I do say so myself. Good luck out there. Greetings. Hail, friend. The gnomes at Modus Mining mentioned you'd be opening a mining site here. That's all well and good, but I can help you make the most of it. For a small sum, I'll renovate this mine for you, make it bigger. In the long run, you'll earn more money out of it. What do you say? No one I know of has scaled it all the way, so there's no knowing for sure what's up there. Heard everything, from it's the home of a powerful mage, to it's the cradle of civilization itself. Sometimes in the same breath. There's an adventure to be had at Cloudcrest's Peak, I'm sure. There are bad goings-on at the caverns. The miners have all, one time or another, seen wretched, scarred creatures that walk on two legs pacing at the entrance. That's me, Master Architect at your service. Your friends at Modus Mining sent word to me that they were helping you open a site here. For a little bit of gold, I'll help you get this dump running more efficiently than Edgar Aaron ever managed to. If you give me the gold, I can start clearing out one of the collapsed passages in the mine. I'll start cleaning out the passage right away. Who knows what we'll uncover in there?
In the Halllands. Thank you for your help.
It's good to be back. Amazing that the Fae can flourish in such a warm environment.
Hopefully we won't be seeing Bloodbane again. Or any other Craddock for that. Be careful out there in the sun. Thank you. We appreciate your help more than we can express. The least we can do is help you run.
Fae out in the desert. The sun's something, isn't it?
can't believe Edgar put the miners through that. He was always about taking the fight back to the competition, but I didn't think he meant to take their lives. There's no excuse for it. Motus's business practices aside, he had no right. Thank you for righting his transgressions. For another bit of gold, I can clear out the next section of the mine. We'll have this place running at full capacity in no time.
Before I came...
Hail, adventurer. Hey, boss. Do you need me to do any work on the mine? Just a little more gold and we can open up the last section of the mine. This will be about all we can extend the mine. We've run out of room in the cavern.
The desert is as unforgiving as it is blistering.
Before I came here,
adventurer. We've pushed this mine as far as it'll go. It's been sound doing business with you. Now all you have to do is relax, sit back, and collect your money. I shall see you when I see you.
Killer instinct if you want to make it far.
Hey there, stranger. You look like you've seen some combat. Care to... Take a look at the highest quality armor.
So much to buy, so little time before my next match.
Well, hello there. Are you suffering from anything, warrior? Festering wound? Magical burns? Good old-fashioned sword stabbing? I've got a poultice for that.
You'll need a killer instinct. Hey there. Do you have any weapons that need maintaining?
Well, hello there. Are you suffering from anything, warrior? Festering wound? Magical burns?
I hope I have enough money for repairs. This studded leather is almost ruined.
Welcome. Any socketed gems I can remove?
I don't know what I want to buy.
Welcome to the Oasis of Ingress. Where the divine voice of Mitharu
waters of Loch Dyden. Such a lovely sight.
The boggarts are gone.
If you know which end to hold, I've got a sword or two. You might put to use. So long.
Hello?
Move along.
You are my contact. I should have known. Punctuality is not one of your papal strengths, and you have so few. Edessa is the greatest bastion of knowledge and understanding in the world. Alfar have their arts, mankind has its gods, but our only commandments are the solid, predictable laws of natural science. As Templar, the Forum demands that I do everything in my power to advance our knowledge. It is a tremendous responsibility, and one I take quite seriously. Fomerus Hughes is one of my most brilliant scholars, and as you know, his research shows tremendous potential. His recovery is of paramount importance. His knowledge is invaluable, and must not fall into the wrong hands. And I'm terribly worried about his safety too, of course. That goes without saying. My fellow Templars and I sponsor research that will lead to the betterment of all mortals. Sadly, Alfar and man alike often have trouble accepting the reason behind our decisions. But most gnomes realize we have their best interests in mind. You may recall our mutual friend, Fomerus Hughes. The gnome who brought you back to life? I suspect you would, but I gather you've been quite busy. Well, Scholar Hughes has been missing since the attack on his tower. As his patron, I am quite concerned. I want you to find him. You are, how shall I say, uniquely suited to the task. Don't be obtuse. I am his patron. As such, I own everything that Scholar Hughes produces. I suppose that includes you as well. The secrets in his laboratories are meant for gnome eyes only. They must be controlled. At any cost. I could ask the same question. For all I know, Fomerus Hughes is on the run from you. I am willing to assume that's not the case. Simply put, you may be my only chance of locating Hughes, just as I may be yours. Simple. Scholar Hughes is responsible for the most valuable invention in recorded history. He must be protected. I am his patron. Not only am I responsible for his work, but also for his well-being. Fomerus has done much for my standing. I owe him. And I am grateful. Scholar Hughes is quite fortunate to have friends like us. Hughes has an old laboratory in the cavern of Saltwell Mines. I believe he's been conducting research there since the destruction of Alistar Tower. Find him, and you will be rewarded for your contribution to science. I will await your success in the Librarium in Edessa. He may have returned to his old laboratory in Saltwell Mines. But if any of my people approach, he'll flee. He's quite paranoid, for good reason.
What is it?
Have I been down here so long? Is the madness so great that I see the faces of the damned before me? Or is it really you? It is! By the tome! Come closer. Let me look at you. It has been an eternity since I've seen a trusted face. Are you? In many ways, your awakening has brought me nothing but misery. But that is not your fault. I am to blame for all of it. Wait. Do you hear that sound? It could be the Sons of Laz, but it could be someone else. Then assassins? The last we spoke, it was the Tuatha that reduced my lab to cinders. Now it's assassins. Everywhere I go, destruction follows. I have grown so weary of it, my friend. All I ever wanted was to unlock death's secrets, to shed light on the shadows. I never wanted this. Thank you. For more than just your protection, for being the one good thing to come of this disaster. I have few friends, but I gladly count you among them. I trust him with my life, which is why I've been trying to contact him since I fled Alistar, but to no avail. Where is he now that I need him most? Wait. Of course. He is the one I trust most, and the one who would benefit most from my death. I am a fool! Octien is behind the assassins. And now that you and I are together, he will try to kill us both. Why did I not see this before? If he could repair the Well of Souls in Alistar, then he has no need of me. Not if he has Ventrinio. Ventrinio de Cellini. We used to work together, in this lab, on projects sponsored by Templar Octien. But when we were tasked with creating the well, Ventrinio sought to use any means at our disposal, regardless of the implications or consequences. Eventually, he was taken away, and I was sent to work at Alistar. But it seems he continued his work here, long enough to create those monsters. They are the animated dead, early experiments in the field of immortality. They will forever haunt these cursed caverns. Ventrinio named them after a mythical figure who rose from the dead. He looked on them and saw potential. I see only abominations. No, not me. But Ventrinio's old notes suggest that he may know a way into Alabastra. I wonder, perhaps, is it possible that you have met Ventrinio already? That would explain it. You were attuned to his well, but raised from mine. Unfortunately, the only way to find Ventrinio is to go through Templar Octien, which will not be easy now that we know of his treachery. Never. The only voice he wishes to hear is his own. We cannot deal with Octien within the boundaries of Edessa. Not alone. There is one who has the power to discredit him. Templar Joriel. She is reputed for her wisdom and strength of character. And as I recall, she and Octien do not exactly see eye to eye on matters of policy. If Joriel can make Octien answer for his crimes, then we will gain access to his information. That includes the location of Ventrinio's lab. If you wish to uncover the mystery of your deaths, then you will need Ventrinio. He is the key to Alabastra. Find Templar Joriel in Edessa. We don't have much evidence, but I have a feeling she will help us. Ah, Edessa. The great gnomish city-state. Knowledge, reason, and logic rule there, as do bureaucracy and intrigue. A clever gnome can go far in that city, and a wise gnome goes far away from it. I knew Octien was more interested in my research than he was in my well-being, but I didn't expect him to send assassins. At least not so soon. Now that he has the well and Ventrinio, he'll have access to eternal life all for himself. And who knows what other magical protections he's collected over the decades. He thinks he's won, but we know his dirty little secrets. And believe it or not, that means we've got the real power. I am Fomerus Hughes, scholar of vivification, prime circle. The Well of Souls was my life's work. My old colleague, Ventrinio Desilini. For a time we worked together under Templar Octien. He was a brilliant scholar, but a terrible person. I told Octien he couldn't be trusted and refused to work with him, but it appears the Templars simply moved him to another lab with some mysterious assistant. Ventrinio's notes reference some highly capable assistants that joined him in testing the well and collecting Prismia, but there's no mention of their identity. Whoever they are, they're clever, resourceful, and very dangerous. If we could find them, we might have a lead, or even a way into Alabastra. The Templars rule from the Forum, and you can't get a thing done in the city without the sponsorship of one of them. They can be powerful allies, but the one thing you don't want to do is get on their bad side. It's everything I've been able to put together concerning Templar Octien's crimes, with supporting evidence from Ventrinio's notes and correspondence. I always suspected I might need leverage over Octien. It seems Ventrinio felt the same. You must remember to thank him for me. It's everything I've been able to put together concerning Templar Octien's crimes. I always suspected I might need leverage over... Oh, don't call it that. You're just having a talk with Octien in the library. In return for your discretion, he'll give us what we want. I know it's unpleasant, but when you work with the Templars, you just start thinking this way. It helps you stay alive.
Do you live in the dust out here?
Greetings!
The Honourable Decanus Page.
What, you surely ask, is such a well-heeled Praetorian doing here among the dust and brambles? Removing the tarnish for my name and solving the Jotun problem. Their keep is hard to miss. It sits on Menethir like an Etin on a pile of bones. Overlooked. Ignored. Once I've settled this Jotun problem, my Praetorian friends will be humming a different tune. Grand to behold, but lousy with Jotun and spiders and gods know what else. Makes me think the Warsworn put their blasted keep here out of sheer bloody spite. I am, you see, ranked Decanus. That is above Auxiliary, where I serve my time, and beneath Centurion, which is where I belong. The old Ragnar has died, and his successor is stirring the embers of war. But he's too clever to openly provoke the Warsworn, so he's attacking gnomes instead. That will not stand. I have a plan to settle this, but it requires someone of both delicacy and grit. Priest, apothecary, and spiritual guide to Jotun kind. The old Ragnar ruled all the Jotun in these heights and the mountains beyond. If this upstart stirs all of them to war, things could go badly for everyone. The Warsworn have their place in my plan, but not yet. Coaxing the Ragnar to show his face requires a subtlety that our local Castellan lacks. Yes, I think you do. First, we must find some new and better enemies for the Jotun. Go into Tyrscotter Mine, southeast of here, and steal the clan totem from the kobolds that dwell there. Then return to me. To reclaim it, the kobolds will fight to the death, and as for the Jotun, well, one thing at a time. Tyrscotter Mine is full of the little filchers. If you ask me, they're worse than the Jotun. There's a good deal to be said about them. none of it nice. You hear tales now and then of Jotun guards and Jotun soldiers. I'll believe that when I see it. Brutes! We'll never know if the mine collapsed because of the kobolds, or if the kobolds got in because of the collapse. Either way, it's theirs now. It seems the old Ragnar had some wisdom in that slab of a skull. Kept a shrewd balance between infighting and angering his neighbors. But now he's dead, and the new Ragnar fancies the warpath. But that won't be good for anyone. Tyrskota mine cuts into the hills of southeastern Menethir. I don't know where in the mine the clan totem is kept, but it is there.
First, he made the river in the arc of the great snake-tail. When that grew tedious, he turned his attention to the cliffs, the dunes, the depths.
Normally, I'd advise you to take a leap off that ledge, but at the moment, I find myself in need of aid. Don't think you'll get anything out of it, though. I certainly won't teach you anything. An old man who's had his fill of the world. It possesses a certain remarkable beauty that is hard to appreciate with a wounded leg. Once in a while, some fool comes to plead on bended knee for lessons. Bah! If you don't know, there's no use telling it. Off in the southeast among the hills, overrun now with those spear-hefting overgrown cats. I'd keep my distance if I were you. Damned kobolds is what. Poison spear to my leg and it's begun to fester. There are things for it, easy to gather myself. If I could walk. Foul stuff. I never touch it. The natural course of healing's best, if you ask me. I'd be grateful, but don't expect any wisdom or a fine-crafted gift. Hermits have little to give. I'll need spider sack ichor, fenrack from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's cookpot. Can you get me those? Before the gnomes opened up that damned mine, wasn't a single one in Menethir. Meddlers, that's what they are. Always think they know best, but they never do. Believe me. Some spider sack ichor, fenrack leaf from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's pot. How many times must I repeat it?
The carver made by the morning what takes the cycles centuries to shape. He bored holes in the red marches and chiseled the spine in the Ulcerund. Echoes rang through the canyons of Menethir. He gouged the hollow lands and then left it barren.
There you are.
I hope they've fared well.
If you know which end to hold, I've got a sword or two you... might put to use. So long.
Can I help you?
Ah, you have the totem? Good. We've made some enemies, so now we must make the feeling mutual. Kill 3 Jotun chieftains known as the Ragnar's Chosen. Their deaths will enrage the Ragnar like nothing else. After killing each of the Chosen, plant one of these kobold daggers in his chest. That should do the trick. They'll be up among the Jotun on the heights, spreading their Ragnar's word. Remember, after you've killed each, plant a kobold dagger in his chest. That's essential. Look! It begins!